Known for its vast expanses of wilderness and its nomadic culture, this country, landlocked between Russia and China, is one of the purest and most enigmatic territories that the globe can offer us. In a setting made of immense steppes, mountains and desert, some inhabitants are isolated from the rest of the world. It should be noted that with 2 inhabitants per square kilometer, Mongolia is the country with the lowest population density in the world. Nearly a third of the Mongols are nomads and still live today from cattle breeding and hunting. Sometimes near the yurts, the traditional houses, yaks, camels, goats and horses breathe the fresh air of a Mongolian territory of which 80% is located more than 1,000 meters above sea level. The locals have a sense of hospitality. A bowl of fermented mare's milk, airag, will be handed to you. With its very particular, strong and smoky taste, this homemade drink should be drunk in moderation. Like the coal stove, it certainly helps to hold on during the harsh winters, during which temperatures can drop to -40 degrees C. Weather conditions have forced many nomads to head to the capital. So much so that the population of Ulaanbaatar today is around 1.5 million, almost half of the country's population. An economic, cultural and political center, Ulaanbaatar revolves around Genghis Khan Square, the illustrious founder of the 13th century Mongol Empire. To the north is the parliament. A large statue of Genghis Khan sits in front of the building alongside statues of Mongolian horsemen. In the center of the square, a statue of Sukh-Batar, hero of the revolution who proclaimed the independence of Mongolia in 1921. Since then, the city has undergone a major modernization. Shops, hotels, shopping centers. Indeed, let's now discover the very first luxury shopping center in the city. Built in 2009, Central Tower has 17 floors and is home to brands such as Burberry, Versace, Boss, Montblanc and Freiwilly. Having fallen under the spell of the Austrian jewelry house during her stay in the country, Odon Chimeg Batsukh greatly contributed to the establishment of the brand in Ulaanbaatar, to the great delight of its customers.
This Freiwilly boutique is the first boutique in Mongolia. We opened this boutique in year 2013, and since 9 years we are operating this boutique successfully.
Even while writing instruments or accessories for men and women have found their home, jewelry remains undeniably the stars of the house. A Viennese house founded in 1951 which has mastered a very demanding skill, that of high-fire enameling. It all starts with the first gouache drawings, thanks to which the Freiwilly artists gradually appropriate the theme and trace the outline of each piece of jewelry. Artists, goldsmiths and enamel specialists pool their know-how and creativity at each stage of production. In the end, all these pieces of art are part of sublime jewelry collections.
We have different collections which are inspired by different most famous artists, artworks, as well as designed by our own Freiwilly designers. And my most favorite collection is Hundertwasser collection, which is inspired by Austrian artists. And it's in Mongolia, one of the best-selling collections as well as the worldwide.
In parallel with the pieces freely created by Freiwilly around the history of art or exceptional folk themes, these new tribute collections are inspired by the greatest works of artists like Gauguin, Van Gogh, Mucha and many more. In this window, a collection inspired by the paintings and muses of Gustav Klimt is a bestseller. Its muse, Adele Bloch-Bauer, also lends her name to these jewels with decorative elements and playful shapes so dear to the artist. Here, diamond and 18-karat gold marry perfectly with Grand Feu enamel. It's the same for the collection dedicated to the most significant representative of Impressionism.
Today I'm wearing one of our latest collection, which is inspired by Claude Monet. Collection is called Bridge, and I really love to present this collection. In this collection we are also offering 18-karat gold ring combined with diamond, and it's really beautiful. I love it.
Next project for Odon Cimeg Batsuk, the development with Freiwil of a brand new collection that could well be inspired by Mongolian arts and traditions. To be continued. What is certain is that Mongolian art is proudly exhibited in the streets of the city. This work is signed by Orchirbold Ayurzana, a contemporary sculptor in his 40s and considered one of the most promising artists in Mongolia. Ulaanbaatar, a city that has also seduced people with its mix of styles. Between modern buildings, monasteries, and old Soviet-style buildings, the urban landscape is surprising. But it's also its charm. Less charming is the traffic. A word of advice: opt for walking and forget the car. You risk losing hours and hours in traffic jams, especially when gatherings, ceremonies or concerts are held in Genghis Khan Square. On the other hand, it's difficult to do without a vehicle if you want to leave the city and go for a walk in the steppes. In this case, take a 4x4 instead. It's certainly a desire that you'll have because Mongolia is above all this: large spaces with the horizon as the only border, landscapes of incredible beauty where nature has remained intact. A 1.5-hour drive from the capital, set off to discover the Gorky Terelj National Park. Mountainous region made up of wooded steppes where many species of animals can be found. Chiseled by erosion, many rock formations delight climbers. This is more intriguing with its form, a 24-meter-high pebble called Turtle Rock. And since nature is the most magical thing in Mongolia, why not treat yourself to the luxury of a residence in the mountains, in a residential area with top-of-the-range services, while remaining in close proximity to the capital. We're only 11 kilometers from downtown Ulaanbaatar. Here, in this valley dedicated to the Buddhist religion and meditation, the customer is king, and everything is done to give them a unique experience.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Great Stone Hill Village Resort.
Luxury villas, fully decorated, are available for rent.
This village is dedicated for home vacation family, so offer a different kind of unit of a village and also service like a sport area. Two kind of clubhouse. One offer more like a shop and a restaurant, and other clubhouse offer more like entertainment for kids and spa area and massage area.
As for the decoration, we note a neoclassical style. Interior and exterior designs that are the result of a collaboration between IQP Italdesign architect Alberto Zatta and the famous Japanese architect Shinichiro Ogata.
The villa itself can be accommodated until 8 persons. It's divided in 600 square meters and is 4 different stories. One is the basement where is accommodated the area like entertainment, you have the fun with your kids, you have your kitchen. Spa, sauna, and also possible to do yoga or also gym.
The living room dining room is dressed with a magnificent staircase, which further sublimates this main room already equipped with a very beautiful fireplace and a piano. Upstairs, the bedrooms with private bathrooms are entirely covered in marble. Materials imported from Asia and Europe, ultra premium, as well as the services offered to customers.
We have several services that each guest can reach easily, like a service car from the airport area to the city center also as well, to do shopping, to do any kind of activities, to go around to Mongolia and visit also this beautiful country. If you rent the villa, there is also the service like food made by a special chef. So we have international Mediterranean food and Mongolian as well to test the local cuisine. In the same time, there is a cleaning also service, there is laundry service, there is all the kind of service to make people relax and enjoy. We have a full possibility to follow all the guests in a single detail. And then any kind of request, we try to do our best to cover the requirement.
One night, 1 month, or even 1 year, it's up to you to choose the length of your stay at the Great Stonehill Resort, as well as all the services you want. For our part, we opted for the Rolls-Royce and its driver. A car and its driver quite useful given the place we're about to visit. You drink or you drive. You have to choose one or the other. Well, our choice is made. Absolute, pure, unique is the promise of the oldest operating Mongolian company. Welcome to APU.
APU company has been in the business for almost 100 years. We are the premier beverage manufacturer in Mongolia. We produce dairy, soft drink, beer and spirits, but namely vodka. And here I would like to talk with you about Chinggis Khan Ultra Super Premium Mongolian Vodka, which we are bringing to the world.
An exceptional product according to vodka lovers. Filtered 9 times and distilled 6 times, the entire process requires nearly 500 hours. Just like here, with the group's best-selling vodka, the production chain must ensure impeccable quality. The purity of the product in particular is scrutinized very closely. As for the name given to the most premium brand of the APU group, what could be more emblematic than to refer to a legendary figure?
We named the brand after our ancestor Chinggis Khan. The reason for that is he was the man with the visionary, truly unified world. During his time, there was a flourishment of free trade, religion and passion, and every Mongolians are very proud of their ancestor.
The man many consider to be the father of the nation also played a role in the recipe for this super premium APU branded vodka, since it is on the land of his childhood that the wheat used to make the beverage is grown.
Regarding the ingredients of the brand, Chinggis Khan vodka is made from winter wheat only grown in Henty province of Mongolia. The Henty province is a very specific province. This is the birthplace of Chinggis Khan, and this is one of the really naturally pure places where one of the best winter wheats are grown. We call it winter wheat because this is grown over the harsh winter environment of Mongolia, and which makes it truly spectacular for vodka making, but not really good for bread making. So to be honest, all the people when they come to Mongolia to try our vodka, they would say this is one of the purest spirit.
Pure just like its container, a sublime bottle with a French-made design which takes up the well-known codes of this mythical warrior whose 250-ton and 40-meter-high statue sits proudly in the middle of the steppes.
Chinggis Khan, he was always on the horse, right? Conquering the world, conquering the lands on the horse. He was known as the ruler on the horse. So having these elements of horse integrated into the whole design was one of the key things what we did to our product.
Bottles that are sent off every day to the four corners of the world, much to the delight of vodka lovers. Locals have the privilege of being able to enjoy an Orag Kasa shop entirely dedicated to the most popular spirits, facing Genghis Khan Square, with, as a bonus, an entire wall dedicated to the Queen of Vodka. In Ulaanbaatar, there's another queen, the Queen of Activities, and there we recognize a little touch of their Chinese, Korean and Japanese neighbors, since it's all about karaoke. You'll find one on every street corner. Asian culture is felt everywhere. Here is the palace of Bogdo Khan, the last emperor of Mongolia. It consists of the Summer Palace with its 7 temples and pagodas and the Winter Palace. It's the last surviving residence of the 4, where the last Bogd Khan lived. The palace was transformed into a museum in 1974. But Ulaanbaatar has diversified and internationalized a lot, both in its way of life and in the design of its buildings and hotels. Facing Genghis Khan Square, the Blue Sky Hotel and Tower, the tallest building in Ulaanbaatar with its 25 floors, represents modern Mongolia. Inaugurated in 2009, it houses a 5-star hotel with 200 rooms, offices, restaurants and apartments. In Ulaanbaatar, everything is cashed in Tugrik, the local currency. Generally count on exchanging between 3,000 and 3,300 Tugrik for €1. Suffice to say that when you buy Dior, Gucci or Balenciaga, you're charged several million Tugrik. It's within the Shangri-La Mall that we find the biggest luxury brands, whether it's watchmaking or ready-to-wear. And it's in particular in this shop that the young generation meet. Inaugurated at the end of 2021, this Kinto concept store offers a world apart to fashion addicts.
This project is new to us. We opened in October 2021. Before, we already had a shop for women, but this is totally dedicated to young adults, and we want to be close to our customers, which is why we have, for example, a state-of-the-art sound system and an LED screen. And also we want to offer a futuristic feeling in terms of interior design. That's why we use a lot of steel, stone, and also a lot of mirrors. Not to mention a bar around which customers can discuss fashion, get some advice, or revel in their purchases while enjoying a good coffee, a glass of wine, or a cocktail. The objective is to create a unique atmosphere worthy of the customers and the prestigious brands that dress this concept store. It's the 10th anniversary of our company, so we've already worked a lot with the luxury market over the past 10 years. Here, we've selected the brands with great care, Brands like Christian Dior, Balenciaga, Celine, Gucci, Yves Saint Laurent, and this year Dolce & Gabbana joined our concept store. We're the one and only official distributor of many luxury brands for all of Mongolia. A great success for the group. And since success breeds success, the expansion continues with new high-end brands joining the venture. As part of our 10th anniversary and our development plan, we have just introduced the French brand Zadig & Voltaire here at Shangri-La Mall, as well as MAC Cosmetics, which is coming. So we're very excited and happy with these new projects. Mongolia, a luxury destination with multiple projects, which could still have some nice surprises in store for us. Something definitely to discover.